Layoffs are crazy, just a phone call away, and your life is turned upside down. Don't know how or when you'll be able to pay your bills or overdue bills? Check out these eye-opening clips showing real people struggling to stay employed. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Thanks for watching.
Why aren't more people talking about how 300,000 black women were laid off from their corporate jobs recently? I didn't even know this was a thing until I posted a video that I got laid off, and then a bunch of the comments were like, yeah, it's a war on black women right now. There's so many getting laid off. And I still didn't believe it, so I checked, and there's literally a whole Forbes article on this. Like, this is so scary and concerning.
Come with me to be a sample girl at Costco. Some backstory, I got laid off from my corporate job 2 weeks before my wedding, and I just came back from my honeymoon and we got a mortgage to pay, so let's hustle. I'm supposed to go through a different entrance than the main one, but I don't know where that is, so we're gonna find it. I think this is where I have to go. Seems a little sketchy, but we're gonna follow it.
This was the snazzy uniform they gave me, and then my first task was to fill up some ice. This was me on my break. Here's my name on a name tag, and then this was the setup.
Well, I've been fired from my job. For 5 years now, I've never taken sick days, worked holidays, and even took call at night. I've been a stay-at-home mom now for 5 years. But when my husband was laid off, our roles reversed. He's now the stay-at-home dad while I dust off my scrubs and head back to work. And let me tell you, actually having to pack a lunch and wear pants again, I did not sign up for this level of adulting. But on a serious note, he has done great being home with our boys, and I'm reminded that being a stay-at-home mom is hard, but so is being a working parent. Here's to hoping I get my trophy wife status back soon.
Hey guys, I haven't made videos like this, but I just got let go from the University of Florida as an employee. They didn't tell me why. There's all sorts of things I have to do now. But in the meantime, while I'm looking for a new job, there will be some more sim racing content, it looks like, and possibly even more Japanese content while I go to class, so stay tuned.
Oh, we're getting fired. We're getting fired. We are getting fired. Look how empty it is. They said, we're already fired. Let's leave now. Only the black people that need their hours is still here. Let's see. Oh, there's one white girl. In the back, she needs her money. Let's see who else. Oh, Ghost Town. Oh, look, there's Color Girl. One more. And we're fucked. Oh.
Y'all, I think I'm about to get fired. Because they just put a random meeting on my calendar with HR. Girl, I know what that means. Just get it over with. Like, just text it to me.
It's experiencing a moment of significant change. So this has required us to manage the business more tightly, focusing on billability. So we in the other sectors have been working through efforts to increase staff billability to reach FY26 billability targets. And so we're continuously evaluating the or your location or the expertise or the years of experience, right? And so the decision is not made lightly by the leaders in the health account, but at this time, we're moving forward with your formal severance notification with TEL. And so now I am going to have Adam discuss the next steps, right? And for
would be on August 18th, which would be 10 business days from today. You are eligible for a severance payment, which is calculated based on your role and your tenure with the organization. And is because of this action, your access will be shut off tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Eastern time. So if there are any personal files,
please continue doing what you're doing because
What's up, guys? I'm Rylan. I've been working in corporate America for a little over 3 years. You may recognize my video from before where I joked around about wanting to crash my car into a tree. Today I was informed that 80 to 90% of our sales team has been laid off, including myself. It's not just newer hires, it's people that have been with the company for over 10 years, people that are 200% to quota, hitting all their goals, just informed that they no longer have a job. So with that being said, make sure you take your PTO, go to the birthday party, go to the wedding, take a vacation with your family, because at the end of the day, you are just another number to these corporations. They will drop you for any reason at any time. So yeah, make sure you take care of yourself. Don't give all your time to your job. And I'm gonna go crash my car into a tree. Catch you later.
Hey, how are you?
Hi, David. I'm good. Just staying busy. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. Definitely a busy time. So look, I want to hop right into it. As you may have heard, we've been restructuring parts of the firm to adopt AI and alleviate some pretty high operational expenses. Unfortunately, that's led us to make some difficult decisions, including the immediate termination of your role. This is not based on your performance as an employee. This is a firm-wide decision impacting hundreds of workers. I know this is probably hard to hear, so I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
I mean, it's definitely a shock considering how much effort I put into this company. Will I be receiving any severance pay?
Of course, you'll be receiving 2 weeks severance. I know it's not a lot, but off the record, more as a friend, let me know if there's anything that I can do to help. Anyone that you see I'm connected with on LinkedIn, happy to make an intro. We were literally talking last week about those AI apps like Sprout or whatever where people are swiping to apply to jobs.
Yeah.
Definitely check that out. But look, you're obviously a top performer and I'm sure you'll find the new role soon, okay? I do have to jump for my next call. My colleague Mark will stay on and go over offboarding. All right, take care. Bye.
No worries. Have a good day. Bye.
How are you?
Nicole, I'm doing good. Same busy. How are you?
I'm doing okay. It's definitely been a busy time, so I just want to hop right into it.
Totally.
As you may have heard, we've been restructuring parts of the firm by adopting AI to alleviate some high operational expenses, and unfortunately, that's led us to make some very difficult decisions. One of those being the immediate termination of your role. I just want to emphasize that this is not based on your performance as an employee. This is more of a firm-wide decision that's impacted hundreds of employees currently with the company. I know that it's probably very hard to hear, and I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
This is definitely a shock, considering how much effort I put into this company. Will I be receiving any severance?
So you will be receiving 2 weeks severance. We know it's not a lot, but off the record, I know last week we were talking about those AI apps that you've used, like Prep AI, where people just swipe to apply. So you can definitely hop back onto that and check it out. You're a strong performer, and I know you'll find a new role very, very soon. But I have to jump for my next call, so my colleague Mark will be on touch and kind of take offboarding. Take care.
Day 21 of getting laid off. Today I woke up and chose happy. Yesterday was a struggle, but today I made myself pick 5 things that I was happy about and focused on those. I got dressed, I put on makeup, I did a presentation, my commercial comes out tomorrow. It's going to be so fun to see some of my work in the market, on TV, all the places. If you know me, just know that was mine. And then also, I got a sponsorship for a volunteer position that I'm doing, and that was exciting. And yeah, did I get a job? I didn't. I sure didn't. Did I get a denial of a job? I sure did. But did I apply for some more? I did. And this is all part of it. I know. I got my appointment for finding out my severance information. That might make me feel a little bit calmer or spin me out, but at least I can make a plan, next week.
Okay, well, I just got laid off from my company, and I'm really, really upset. I thought I was done crying, but I don't think I am. I worked at my job for almost 3 years, so it was like my 3-year anniversary in the next 2 weeks, and I just really loved my job, and I'm just really sad that I don't have it anymore. And I'm still processing and just in full panic mode because I'm I need money, I need job security, obviously I need to pay rent next month. I'm just really freaking out, and it's just not a good feeling. I feel like my main source of sadness is just that I really enjoyed going into my office every day for the past 3 years. I've gone through a lot while having this job, and I would just always tell people I'm so thankful to have this job because it's really pulled me out of some dark times, because I knew I had to go into my office, and the content, the work of the job I really enjoyed too, and I just felt I was really doing a good job, and so that like really sucks. But yeah, I don't really know. I'm so sick of crying on the internet. I'm sorry.
If you've been laid off, has your former boss ever called you like out of the blue? I was laid off at the end of May, and I'm just sitting here, and the CEO, who ignored my last emails after laying me off, just called me. It's 9 a.m. on a Tuesday. I have no idea why. And like I said, like, he ignored my last couple emails where I reached out to him because I was having issues with HR because they weren't in the meeting when I was laid off, and I wanted to tell him a bunch of things that had happened since he transferred me to a new department, because he had been my direct superior for like 2 years. I reported directly to him, and so I met with him every week for 2 years, and then he transferred me to another department, and then 4 months later I'm getting laid off. So I was like, I have some things I need to tell you about what's going on in this other department. And I sent him an email and he never responded. So I'm like, why are you calling me? What is going on? He also viewed my LinkedIn profile like a couple days after laying me off, which I posted about on here because I was like, does he not know I can see this?
So I just got laid off from my finance job, and after 8 years of living in New York City, I am moving back in with my parents at 26 years old. And honestly, I have felt stuck ever since graduating college. But somehow I am feeling optimistic about this, and I am ready to challenge myself in a way that I never have. I'm a former Ivy League graduate. I played Division I football as a quarterback there, and I took the finance route just like everyone around me. And I have been fitting into this mold that is not me for nearly 5 years now. And I know the me of the last 4 years would take this horribly and see it as me being a failure, but I'm going to take a different approach. So here's my plan. I'm going to use this as a launching point to rediscover who I am, what I have passions about, what hobbies do I want to pursue, what career do I want to pursue, do I want to build something myself, or do I want to join something that I truly believe in? And I'm going to document it all here. I know this is cliche. I know everyone is doing this on TikTok and Instagram, but it is helping people, and that's what matters. I am a very reserved person. All my friends would tell you that. They tell me that all the time, and I know I need to be more engaged in life. I need to be more social. I need to be willing to put myself out there more.
What you want to do in your career and your aspirations.
I'm literally shaking.
But having said that, we are all, as difficult as it is, but I sincerely want all of you to know that we are all here to support you as much as we can during this transition. And if there's anything else that you need, then do let us know as well. Given the criticality of cybersecurity in this area and the functions that you do.
Here we are. Okay. My name is Chelsea Roller. I am 30 years old, and I just got laid off by a company who I've been with my entire career, whole 13 years. I'm not looking at this layoff as a negative. Was I in my feels? Did I have my moment of sadness? Yes, absolutely. Was out of the blue, expected, and the way things went down, I would say, probably weren't the most ideal. It wasn't handled with a lot of kindness, which is unfortunate, but incredible support with my boyfriend and my parents and my grandparents. And I was talking to my grandpa, and he had this really enlightening thought of, this is a graduation. You spent 13 years at a company. You were in school for 13 years. 13 is a very special number to me, which we can get into more later. I've graduated from this time in my life. I have graduated from this company. And now I have 13 weeks because I've been with a company 13 years. Their severance package was 1 week for each year I've been with a company. So I get 13 weeks severance, which is incredible. Why am I telling you guys? Why am I talking to nobody at this point? I am here to create a little journal for myself and to find some accountability partners, maybe. Maybe, I don't know. I'm sure some of you guys are out there. It's really just to track this 13-week journey. I've never been granted a journey like this before, 13 weeks is a blessing.
The job market is actually going to make me crash out because I graduated last year, okay? I graduated with a degree in marketing and a degree in management. I did 2 majors, and I was promised a job. I was promised if you joined student orgs, recruiters would love that. Bet. I joined 4. I was promised if you go above and beyond in your education, recruiters would love that. Bet. I went to Europe twice to study abroad. I was promised if I was involved in school, for example, like me being a TA, I was that in school too, I'll get a job. I was promised a whole bunch of things. If I did everything right. I did everything. I had internships too. I had about 3 internships, 4 if you include my teacher assistant role, and I was promised to get a job. And unfortunately, it's been a year of job hunting. I've been rejected by over 200 companies.
Next month will be officially 1 year since I have been unemployed and got laid off from my agency job. I've networked with barely anybody responding back to me. I've interviewed, got to multiple last rounds. Always got the same feedback that they went with somebody with more experience, but I was a great candidate. I've applied to over 1,000 jobs. I've applied to even low-paying jobs. I've applied to internships. I don't know what else to do. I ask questions at the end of the interview. I get to know them. Like, I don't know what else they want from me.
I just got laid off. I was laid off from my outpatient job, and I was working in a NICU follow-up clinic. I have never experienced something like this before. So I'm doing what any sane person would do, which is I'm eating French fries, waiting to go into Hobby Lobby. I will say I'm very thankful that I work per diem. I do have a second job that I'll just pick up a little bit more at. I don't have benefits through this job, so I'm not taking a hit as much as a lot of the other nurses are, but whoa. I have a lot of feelings about this. I think the biggest one I'm feeling though is disappointment and I'm a little bit angry. This is the first time where I have seen with my own eyes that we treat healthcare like a business. Sucks because at the end of the day, the people who are suffering this layoff the most isn't me, it's not the nurses, although yes, we are suffering, it's the kids. And that's what I'm having such a hard time understanding is, why are we doing this when we know the detrimental impact it's going to have on the patients who are the children?
So today something happened. I got laid off from work. They decided to let us know that the company that I work for is shutting down officially. Apparently for a lot of people, this is not new. Like, unfortunately, there are people that have gone through this, and it's just sad that this is normal. It is not normal for me. It is new. I guess it's a new addition to my experiences, I guess. I feel like even though we kind of had the idea, we've been thinking and entertaining this possible reality for the last week and a half, but one thing is knowing that it might not happen, but the other thing is when you actually hear the news, it's not something fun for sure. But I guess it goes to show you that there's nothing guaranteed in this life and you have to live it to the fullest. It is what it is. I am a little, I don't really know what to think about all of this. It just happened really like a couple of hours ago, and I've been trying to process this. I don't know if any of you have any advice or any words of encouragement that will help me a lot for sure. And yeah, trying to find the positive side and hope for the best, of course. So yeah.
So yesterday I got laid off. And I took a day to process it, so I think now I'm like ready to talk about it. In the moment that it happened, I felt like I regressed into my inner child. Like, I felt my inner child come out. My whole life I was just used to like dealing with financial issues, growing up not having money, not growing up with money at all, and just like always being stressed about finances. And this was like the first time in my life where I like didn't have to think twice about like getting things if I wanted something. Now it's like I'm reverted back to that inner child where it's like I'm in survival mode and I'm like, oh my god, like I have to hustle, I have to penny pinch, I have to make sure that I am super strict with myself. So the first thing that I did when I shut my laptop after I found out I was laid off was like just look at my husband and cry and say I'm so sorry because I felt so guilty, like now he has to carry this burden. I literally would dread opening my laptop every day. And coincidentally, right before I got into the meeting where I lost my job, I was so anxious because I was working on stuff for work and it just nothing was working and applying for work. And I was like rushed with feelings of embarrassment, like, oh my gosh, like I'm unemployed. I don't have a job. This is so embarrassing. Even though it was like out of my control, it wasn't a performance-based thing or anything, and like I obviously wasn't the only one. Like a bunch of people at my job were affected, and obviously this is like a normal thing that a lot of people have experienced. But I don't know. You don't think it'll happen to you until it does, and then when it does, you're like, oh, what do I do? Like my world is like kind of upside down. I've always felt like I've had potential to do something else, but I've never really had the energy because I had a full-time job, and I never had the energy to like devote 100% to like creating content or pivoting into interior design or fashion, which are the things I actually care about and that I love and that I would love to do for a living. But I never gave myself that opportunity because I was so comfortable. And there's nothing I like more than just control over my circumstances, because as a child I didn't feel like I ever had control, especially in the financial sense. This was like the first time I did, and I just did not want to let that go.
And this is your sign to not quit that job. Baby, I was working at Amazon. If you know, you know. I worked there for 11 months. I had to go overnight. Literally dying every fucking day. I quit 3 weeks ago. I've done 64 applications. I'm not even exaggerating. At this point, I even applied at Hardee's. Nobody wants me. I need a job. You got a job? Keep it. Because if not, I want it. If you don't want a job, just let me know and I'll go get it. Bye.